to establish the authenticity of such a report.
The very first question I posed to you was whether or not the president would have been privy to this DSS report when it first of all, before it got to the Senate. You don't think that the DSS will have to give it to the president whom it directly reports to?
The president or the presidency may or may not be privy, because recall that there's separation of powers. The duty of the responsibilities of the Senate is to carry out confirmation exercise. And there's no way they can carry out confirmation without a security report. So it doesn't necessarily have to be from the presidency. Doesn't necessarily have to be privy to it, because theirs is to confirm, and they cannot confirm on nothing.
Well, let's see. We hear that Lagos has some questions for you. We hope that you'll be able to hear those questions.
Many questions, Mark. Many questions. He did say that the media complicates things. Perhaps he should tell us what exactly is in the public space about Magu and his non-confirmation that is not entirely true, that the media is reporting. Mr. Ejiofor, good morning. I think a couple of journalists have had cause to reach out to the police. I see. I understand that you can't hear me. Perhaps, Mark, since you can't hear me, the issue here has to do with confirming for us if truly some of those issues about Mr. Magu are true after all, because many have alluded to the fact that some of those things are highlighted in that news report are true after all. And Mr. Ejiofor, I don't know if you can speak to some of these things since you were once with the DSS.
Well, there's no way I can speak to the report. First of all, I have not seen the report. So what we are all discussing, the realm of speculation, I think it's better or tidier. Because if you look at the various media reports, you have different versions. Some are saying that the allegations raised against Magu were unfounded. And some newspapers are also coming out with details of their own findings. So I think until
I'll tell you our own findings. I'll tell you our own findings. And it has to do with calls we have also placed to some in police authority. And they have it on record that truly Mr. Magu was once suspended. He was seconded to the EFCC, and when they found him wanting, they had to send him back to the police, and it was, investigated, and even there was a time he was also locked up. And I'm quite sure everyone within the DSS should also have an inkling or have an idea, because we did also make calls on that.
So that forms a basis for an action.
So it seems that is something that perhaps...
If you carry out an investigation...
Yes, absolutely. Yes, we did. We did. And I'm quite sure that the presidency is aware of some of these things. Because Mark asked a very important question, and it's a question we've been asking here on Channel Television, even yesterday on Politics Today, is we don't think that the DSS, as an agency of government directly under the executive, will have something fishy and smelly about a nominee of Mr. President without the President having an inkling of that report.
Well, you see, before any political office holder is appointed, he's supposed to be screened. But I want to assume that the issue of Magu must have been overlooked because he was a serving police officer, and possibly that's why the name was not sent for clearance before this appointment. But now that it came to Senate that has to confirm, the Senate on its own decided to find out what actually is the background or what you people have on this subject. And I think that's formed the basis for SSS going to the report to give its own findings to the Senate.
Well, there are a number of civil society organizations that don't believe that, this is basically what is playing out is what is truly playing out. They believe that Mr. Mago has been the victim of intense power play between certain forces in government. What is your thinking on this? Is it a possibility?
Well, I don't know, because I'm not part of the political interplay, like you said. I wouldn't know.
But how, just kinds of things, I mean, when you read things like that, we cannot easily dismiss them with a wave of the hand. First of all, you said that it is difficult for you to comment because you've not seen the security report and that the media was making things a bit convoluted. But if you read through a lot of the papers and a lot of the things that are out there, you find that all of them have the same thread in common, and whether or not they have been able to verify them as being true or not is another kettle of fish.
Exactly.
But a lot of them, point at the same thing: the accusations that he might not be as upright or his integrity might not be as spot on as we thought it was. The relationship he has with a former one of the military chiefs who was on the presidential panel for investigating arms procurement, and so on and so forth. These kinds of relationships are there. But then there's also the question of whether or not some people in government, people he's worked with, also want him to remain in government. I mean, when you look at how long it's taken Mr. Mago for the Senate to confirm Mr. Mago, there are definitely questions as to whether or not what is playing out is truly what is meeting the eye.
Well, these are allegations. Like I said, the president has ordered a further investigation into the matter. But in my own view, anybody occupying that position of the chairman of EFCC should be above board.
You think it should take that long to confirm them? Because some people might say that this might be an issue of vendetta.
Well, you see, the Senate cannot work on nothing.
True.
It was when the request was sent to the Senate. So I wouldn't know why it took the executive that long to forward the name of Mago to the Senate. So I think they should be in a better position to say why it took that long to forward the report or the request.
Let's go to Lagos and take one more question before we go on break.
Looks like it's the call time mark, but I think we have to go on the break. When we return, we'll have more questions for Mr. Ejiofor.